What's up, Life Groups? Blake here. I hope you guys are doing good, hanging out tonight, talking about the topic of fear in our life groups tonight. And I know that's a real relevant subject to everybody because, well, if you are alive and listening and seeing this, you're a human being. Congratulations. That means we all have some level of fear that we deal with. And some fears are silly, like when we were kids, being afraid of the dark. I was afraid of toothpaste because I thought if I swallowed it, I would die. We all had random fears as kids, and they were kind of irrational. Sometimes fear, though, is a good thing. Like, if you have a fear of poisonous snakes, then that prevents you from picking poisonous snakes up. We're afraid of falling to our death, so people don't try and fly by jumping off cliffs. And so there's a certain level of fear that's wise. It's this, okay, well, it's healthy. I know that because I'm concerned, I have this level of fear of dying if I jump off a cliff, and that's good because it actually produces life and health in you. But sometimes fear is really irrational. In fact, there's an acronym that I heard once for it. It's FEAR. You use the word fear, and it's false evidence appearing real. And a lot of times, our fears are just that. False evidence, something that's not even real. Like when you're a kid and you're afraid of the dark. I mean, what's in the room now that it's dark that wasn't in the room 2 seconds before it was light? And sometimes with examples like that, it's easy to see. It's irrational. That's false evidence appearing real. But with other times, it's a little bit harder to see. Like, for example, what about when I have deep fears of maybe being left alone or people leaving me? I mean, are those really real, or is that false evidence? Or what about when we have fears of what's life going to be like in the future? Are we going to be able to get a job? Or what's our life going to be like? We're going to get married, have kids, all these different questions. Are those legitimate fears, or are those being driven by things that when we really examine it, maybe those is just false evidence? There's a story in the Bible about this really amazing man. His name was Peter. He ends up starting the church, and he's an amazing follower, disciple of Jesus. I mean, this dude was so on fire that at one point, he would just walk past sick folk, and they would just get healed because of his shadow. I mean, that is pretty bomb. And this guy, though, at one point, when Jesus was first captured before he was crucified, he believed in some false evidence. He thought for a moment maybe Jesus wasn't who Jesus said he was, and he allowed the false evidence to appear real to him. And in a moment of weakness, Peter denied that he even knew Jesus 3 times. I mean, that's not the Peter that I read about in the Bible. The other places, he's a bold dude. He gets thrown in jail and says, God, thanks for my boldness getting me in jail. I want more boldness. Like the thing that got me here, increase it on me so I can come back to jail. I mean, he was a bold dude, but for a moment in his life, the false evidence appeared real, and he acted out of fear and denied that he even knew Jesus. When we're afraid of things, we don't act like ourselves. And going forward with today's life group, I know that when we're honest about our fears, sometimes just saying them out loud, it makes it not appear as real. And so I want to encourage you guys to be honest today and get your fears out there. And then at the end, we're going to talk about how there is a remedy for fear, and it's perfect love. And what does that look like? And so I hope you guys have a great rest of your group, and go after it. I love you guys. I'll talk to you soon. God bless.